Hey, what's up, guys? Robert, Rule of Two Review here again, and boy, didn't the internet make me look like a bloody idiot. Well, I guess this is just one of those silly things that can happen in the age of the internet. Just a few hours ago, I had posted a video, and of course it was about the story that broke just earlier today about apparently the trademark for Watch Dogs had been abandoned, by design, by choice by Ubisoft, signed by the CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot. And apparently, within just a few hours, it was basically proven to not be true. But more so than not being true is that apparently it did actually happen. What had happened apparently was just a fraudulent act. So that's kind of the interesting spin on this. And since I posted that video, I was toying on whether or not I want to pull it down, and I figured out, fuck it, I might as well just leave it up. So it's up. You can watch it. I'm going to have to make sure to post some links and stuff in that video so people can tell that it's, it was posted before, it was confirmed to be fraudulent, and then I'll have links and stuff into this so you can kind of get a good little catch up of what's going on. But like I said, what's interesting is that it wasn't a complete lie or miscommunication by somebody who then spread the news to the internet via a rumor. It apparently is something that happened only fraudulently. So it had been confirmed from Ubisoft that this thing happened this way. Let me read some of the quotes that were released. So basically it was here. I'll just go ahead and read it and read the quotes. So the first one says, on February 1st, 2014, Ubisoft Entertainment received an email notifying Ubisoft that a request for express abandonment had been filed in connection with application serial blah, 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 which is the one, of course, that relates directly to Watch Dogs. The request for express abandonment purports to be signed by the chief executive officer of Ubisoft Entertainment, Yves Guillemot. Mr. Guillemot, however, did not sign the request for express abandonment. So again, that's telling us that there actually was this request and it was signed by somebody. But it's now being said through this that it wasn't by Yves who said this. It was not signed by Yves, nor did Ubisoft Entertainment file the request for express abandonment. The request is fraudulent and was not filed by Ubisoft Entertainment or its representative. So again, as I said, that means that it was something that actually did happen. This document, these steps were actually, the document was real and signed, the steps were actually taken. However, not by anyone in connection with Ubisoft, and certainly not by Yves Guillemot. So that's the interesting spin, is that, and then somewhere else it says later here that Ubisoft is working to reinstate the trademark for Watch Dogs, and it will be active again in the coming days. And most importantly, the matter has no impact on Watch Dogs' development. So that's the most important thing. I spent most of my time in the video I posted earlier talking about the fact that some people think this may have been a sign that Watch Dogs is going to be canceled. I, of course, never saw that as a real possibility, but I understood that it was a theory floating around there, so I talked about it quite a bit. This is a good, solid confirmation directly from Ubisoft saying that, of course, is not the case. The game is still on track, should be coming out in the second quarter of the year. Thank frickin' God, I just cannot wait. So yeah, kind of interesting twist and an interesting little go around of information that happened today. It's really weird to think about the fact that it actually did happen. I mean, somebody did something to try to make this news go. And as I had, talked about before in my previous video today, is that this whole news came only 3 days after apparently Ubisoft had to file for an extension to keep that trademark. So it was very fishy from the get-go that on the 29th of January, they filed and said, let us keep this. And of course, they were awarded that. And then just here today, 3 or 4 days later, it was like, oh, that's gone. Ubisoft let it go. Yves Guillemot said, screw it, let it go. And that really just was so conflicting and it made no sense. So here we're finding out exactly why it didn't make sense, because it wasn't real. So Ubisoft is going to now have to work to undo the damage that was done by this whole fraudulent act. It probably won't be too difficult in the end run, because I'm sure it's going to be pretty easy to prove that no one in conjunction with Ubisoft made these decisions. Hence, it never should have gone away from them anyway. So I can't imagine this is going to become more than just a bump in the road in the development of the game. I've been scouring some of the message boards the last hour, just getting a sense of people's feel about it. And, it's interesting. People point out that there's been a lot going on with Watch Dogs since it was announced, and mostly through the back half of 2013 and now the beginning of 2014. All this, the news about the delay, and was the game glitchy and buggy and not ready for release, or were they just concerned that it was going to get overshadowed by Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty? All sorts of stuff going on with Watch Dogs. And now we have this, and it's just like, I know I just said it's just another bump in the road, but that's almost not really the best thing. I mean, it's another bump in the road. There shouldn't really be many, if any, and there's already been a few. So, I mean, they said that, of course, in this exact article here, that this is not going to affect Watch Dogs' development, which is great news. We want to believe them, so hooray! I'm going to go ahead and cautiously yet optimistically believe them and say that everything is going to be fine and the game is still on its way and it should be out hopefully sometime in April or what have you. But I don't know. Either way, I of course owed it to, since I dedicated a whole 13-minute video to talking about this, and I even said in that video that I felt silly doing it so early. The news is only 2 hours old at the time, but I figured, I wanted to talk about it. I was trying to find something to talk about, and the game is very exciting to me, so I wanted to have a reason to bring it up on an episode or on a show. So, I kind of foresaw that it could have been really silly because based on what was confirmed, it could have really been just so not big of a deal that why would I have wasted a video on it? And that was kind of true only in a different sense because this turned out to be fraudulent. I mean, I never could have seen that coming. I don't think anyone really did. So here we go. This is my redacted version of today's news story. I figured, might as well make a few-minute video, discuss the fact that I acknowledge that, I made that news story before it broke that it was fraudulent. Now we know, so I'm coming back on here to address to you guys that very simple fact that it was indeed fraudulent. What the fuck? Who would do this? Why is this stuff happening? Can this game just come out already, please? I'm just ready to have my Wii U version, which we have no reason to think is now canceled. That apparently is still in development, thank God. So I'm just ready to have that game in my hands. It's going to be great regardless of the platform you're playing it on. I'm excited to have the gamepad to control that game because I think a game like this is made for that. To me, no doubt will the Wii U version be the best version, but regardless, it doesn't really matter. Whatever version you're going to play, awesome. Play it, be excited. That's why I'm excited. Thank God none of this is real. It seems like everything hopefully should be fine, so we're going to cross our fingers and keep trudging forward and just wait for this damn game to come out. Better be really good, man. It's been a rocky road the last year, so hopefully this game really delivers on all the hype. So what do you guys think? Are you in support of this or not? Is this good news, bad news? What the hell even with this fraudulent claim anyway? I mean, what do you guys think? Anyway, redacted version over. So please, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe to the channel, like the Facebook page below. Find us on Twitter, Rule 2 Review. And like and share the video if you like it. And thanks for tuning in as always. I'll catch you guys next time.